He pressed the $20 bill into my palm as if it were a crown. His smirk said everything. "You're nothing without me." My stepsister, glittering in a designer dress she didn't earn, clung to his arm. And there I stood, in my wedding gown, veil half pulled back, holding the bill that supposedly measured my worth. I smiled, quiet, calm. They thought I was broken, but they didn't know I'd already moved. When I was 12, Dad remarried. He gained a wife who adored attention, and I gained a stepsister who adored shortcuts. She coasted through life on charm, dropping out of college after one semester. I took the opposite path. I built things. Alone in my room, fueled by bitterness and silence, I wrote code. At 24, when the firm was collapsing, I unveiled my AI prototype. I still remember the boardroom, stale coffee, resignation in every face. Then my tool spoke. It predicted, optimized, turned chaos into clarity. Overnight, we went from sinking to soaring. Within 2 years, the company wasn't just solvent, it was worth $200 million. But in my father's eyes, still the forgotten daughter. The betrayal came wrapped in lace, my wedding day. Instead of a toast, he presented my stepsister with a gift for the future. My AI, my life's work. Signed over with a flourish, handed to someone who couldn't even read the code behind it. I pulled him aside, veil brushing my shoulders like chains. "You can't do this," I whispered. He shoved a 20 into my hand. "This is your worth." That was the moment the last string between us snapped. I didn't cry, didn't scream. I did what I always did. I planned. They believed the AI was a single creation, a polished product. But what I'd built wasn't static. It was alive, evolving, bound to me like blood. Behind its polished interface lay layers of architecture only I understood. And in those layers were kill switches, triggers only I could pull. So while they celebrated with champagne, while they thought I'd been humiliated into silence, I walked away. I went to my laptop, logged into the back end, and began to rewrite their future. By morning, the office buzzed. My father and stepsister swept in, giddy to assume leadership. But the screens told a different story. The AI greeted them with a single line: ownership transfer invalid. Original creator retained all rights. The legal contracts they waved around meant nothing. Buried in the code was a clause that required my biometric signature every 6 months. Without me, the system locked down. And it wasn't just the AI, it was the empire. Every client, every deal, every process ran through my system. They hadn't stolen a product, they'd stolen an illusion. Panic rippled, phones rang, investors demanded answers. My stepsister's smile cracked first. Then Dad's voice rose, shouting at assistants, lawyers, anyone. But no one could override what I'd built. Finally, they called me. His voice on the line was jagged glass. "What did you do?" I spoke slowly, savoring every word. I protected what's mine. "You ungrateful." "No, you taught me exactly how much I'm worth. $20. So I sold the company last night. New partners, new leadership. The empire isn't yours anymore." There was silence. Then the sound of him exhaling, like air leaking from a dying balloon. The truth? I hadn't sold it for money. I'd sold it for freedom. The new owners valued me, not as a shadow, not as a daughter to be sidelined, but as the architect of the empire. My seat was secured, my vision intact. And my father? He was left outside the glass, peering in at what he'd thrown away. That night, I sat in my apartment, wedding gown draped across a chair like a shed skin. My phone buzzed endlessly. Calls from him, from her, from everyone who'd once ignored me. I didn't answer. I stared at the $20 bill lying on my desk. For the first time, it didn't sting. It made me laugh. Because he was right, in a way. That was my worth. To him. To someone too blind to see. But to the world I built, to the empire I protected, to the future I owned, I was priceless. And I never looked back.